care. Even if he say like I care, he still give you a big hug with love and hair. With his kind words, is never afraid to share, giving you that good bear stare. Even his king, so beware. Cause every weekend at 6:30 is bound to be there, stream setting in his chair on every platform that he can share, just as long as you know you'll be there. So let him say this again to make it clear, the life isn't fair, he will be there just cause he wants you to be there. Wish you a good day, a good night, and as always have a good life. Much love. Good night, good night, good night. Much love. Good night. Have a good night, good life. The grumpiest of bears that loves to play, to make people laugh in every way. His jokes are sometimes crude and sometimes...
Alright, oh, wrong button. Wrong one. This one, there we go. Here, there we go. Yay, there we go. Okay, I think we're live. Jesus, it still thinks it's RE0. It's not RE0. I'm not looking for that one. Jesus. Oh, my. Okay, well, I don't think it's this one either. Okay, say something? No, you do not see the little bar not moving up and down. Really a note from my headset. It is. Okay, now say something.
Hello.
There we go. I saw the little thing move. So that's how I know you're here. All right, this is the BearThoughts podcast, where we usually do this every Friday at 5 o'clock at a time. We'll get into the why maybe a little later on. I don't want to make it the focus point of the stream, and I do want to see how I respond if I talk about it. I haven't talked about it in a bit because, well, it's very hard. We're still trying to figure out what we're gonna do, though. We're still with the remains. We are looking for everything. And apparently there's some pretty cool things you can do with it, and I want to run them by you, just get your thoughts. But we do have some topics to talk about here. Oh, before I forget, because I was meant to speak about this, and we can talk about this on stream for a little bit, and then we hop right back up a bit. You got your computer, your little laptop. The same was my wife's laptop, the Dell computer. It had Windows 11 on it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so my wife needs to know how to do that herself at some point. So because she has now is started taking these online classes. Actually, they're supposed to be fully legit. I'll get to that information in a bit, honey. Where she's gonna get her license certification for becoming an MC, even though she's already a medical assistant. She's gonna get a license for it, so she could actually get paid more for it. But she she took the bullet and she paid for classes, but her requirements, which I don't understand this at all, you maybe can explain this to me. Requirements, it has to be a Windows 11. It has to be Windows 11.
The reason for that is probably whatever software they're going to be running for her to do her classes has to be on a Windows 11 OS. It's not that the school's requiring it, but it's the software the school's teaching her on requires it.
Well, it's either a Windows 11 computer or a Chromebook, and I told her no.
Yeah, not Chromebook is a hell no.
I am not about to have her spend her well-earned money on a Chromebook. And anybody out there that has a Chromebook, nothing against you. It's just they're short-lived. Like, get this. I didn't know about this. Classes in schools are still requiring kids to have Chromebooks, right? Like your school, like you have to have a Chromebook.
Like when they're in especially in elementary and middle school, they're having them use Chromebooks.
Yeah.
Not so much since the oldest one's got to high school. They just require him to have a computer at home.
Yeah.
To be able to do stuff. But and boy, I have some updates for you on the kids
Okay.
San Front too, because Jesus, a shitload of stuff has happened.
Well, 2 weeks has
But
happened, so.
yeah, so it's been interesting. But yeah, the oldest one, Crimson, his computer requirements is just to have a good home computer and or laptop that he can do online homework if he needs to from it, or online assignments from it. I haven't heard anything in a while from Sub-Zero, the youngest one in school, about the Chromebooks. Um I don't know what's going on there, but I knew that when Crimson was in that same school, there was a lot of Chromebook stuff. A
Yeah.
lot. Um I haven't heard that much since Sub-Zero's been doing it, and I'm wondering if that come about, and I can't be for sure, but I wonder if that came about when we had the whole COVID thing and had to do school from home, and then they realized the Chromebooks didn't do as well as they thought it was going to.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's why they let up on it. But again, I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I do know it's like I Chromebook is actually a kind of like apparently it's a spinoff of Linux or of like, you know, it's a close relative, or it's a spinoff like Ubuntu for Linux and stuff like that. So like it's not really its own iOS, but it is, and it's mostly like all running for Android stuff as well. But what gets me is like things that were trying to make Chromebooks so good, or trying to make Chromebooks a mainstream computer, are now going away. Like even Steam, which I'm not saying Chromebooks are meant for video games. They're not really meant for video games. But Steam had it supported where you could play games on a Chromebook, so you get more value for the buck. That's what you want from a computer. You want money for the dollar. So if you buy something and you can't play, you know, like you playing games on it, well, Steam in the next year is going to be completely ending support for Chromebooks.
Right. So,
altogether. I'm like, that sucks.
And on that same note, we tried Chromebooks for a little bit when the whole COVID thing was going on where I work, for people having to work remotely.
Yeah.
That typically would be in the office on a tower. What we did was take some Chromebooks and make them able to remote to that tower at the plant so they could still work. The problem is Chromebooks they're not that robust, if you know what I mean. They're really meant for like checking your email, browsing the internet, maybe doing a little online shopping, but that's about all they're really built for. They're not built to have high processors, high RAM, and a lot of software is not compatible with it. Whereas at least with Ubuntu or Linux, more often than not, you can at least find some kind of patch that'll allow you to run it in an emulation mode or something, you know, to still be able to run it. And that OS can be put on a machine that has the ability to have 32, 64 gigs of RAM, blah, 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 blah. It can be robust. Chromebooks wasn't really designed that way out of the gate, and I feel like the shortcoming for the Chromebook was, yes, I get they were trying to make a cheaper, more affordable machine, but I think they went a little too cheap, and that's what bit them in the butt.
Yeah, but you know, they definitely try to make a lot of deals with a lot of schools or something like that. It's like, hey, you know, use our computers, we're cheaper. Yeah, but you ever heard the rule? Cheaper's not always better. So yeah, and I was like, I was like saying before, I didn't understand why my wife would need a Windows 11 computer if they also had the same spec of a Chromebook. I'm going, I'm sorry, that's night and day to me. But LP said Chromebooks are terrible, even if they wipe it and load a better distro or a distro of Linux. Chrome is just a crappy Linux distro. Now I'm in DRM's nightmare, or now is in DRM nightmare. What's DRM? I don't know what that is. Sorry. They work with Streamlink or GeForce Now. Yeah, I understand there's a lot of streaming, which I don't think should become a thing. I don't know, Corvo, you've been paying attention. There's a lot of companies trying to now do like you can remote to a high grade PC, and then you can take that high grade PC and play games on it and use a subscription base. And like it's like, oh, you never had to own your own computer. You can just stream over to this computer and use its hardware, and then you never have to buy it yourself.
Yeah, so the premise of what they're trying to sell is you can own a lesser machine cheaper at home and remote to this more robust machine and play your stuff on it. Because technically, other than the remote connection, the resources being used should be on that more robust machine, right?
Yeah.
However, the problem comes when you start having caps, network caps and stuff for connections to those remote devices, and or limited bandwidth for those network devices. I mean, and sometimes it's not the company that places the limit on it. It might be your own ISP not being set up for it to work properly with them, causing you to have slower speeds or connection issues and stuff. So, I mean, it's kind of like, for example, should I say, a lot of companies have went to not having on-premise server. Okay. Their servers are actually in an Amazon server farm somewhere, or in another cloud-based, server farm somewhere, so that it's not physically on premise, and it's technically in more than one location at one time, so that if something happens to the building or something, there's always a server up, so the rest of the business keeps running. However, you can still experience, like when this one company I know had all their infrastructure technically up in the AWS workspace, and for the most part it was working well for them until a day that they had a problem with their local internet circuit.
Yeah.
And they had to swap over to their backup, but when they swapped over to their backup circuit, they had an issue where they were being throttled on that circuit, which caused all the connections to those remote servers to be slow.
That sucks.
So there's positives and negatives. Like, having a cloud-based server farm is good from an aspect. It can be in multiple locations at one time, so that at any time that a single site's network goes down, like the home office or something like that, you're not dropping every server, okay? And that protects you from losing all your data and keeps up the rest of the business. That's a good thing. The bad part of that is because it is not physically located there, you have to deal with whatever happens with those ISPs out there, and whether their circuits are up and down, and whether we're having bad weather or infrastructure or whatever, you're at the mercy of someone else's equipment. So it's a give and take. I wouldn't say it's any worse or better. I just think it is what it is, and that's where we're going largely. It wouldn't surprise me if before I kick the bucket and am in the dirt, that you don't even have towers and laptops anymore. When you buy a device, what you're buying is a screen, a keyboard, and something that has a network connection so you can connect to a virtual machine somewhere else.
Yeah, another subscription-based things where we don't own anything. But at the same time, like right now, it's barely feasible for large multi-million-dollar companies like yours. And if it's barely feasible for some companies as large as yours company, I don't think it's quite feasible or in the reach of the common man. They're trying to make it to the point where it's in the reach of the common man, and I don't think we're there yet. And like I always say, I have a thing about having to pay off something, because eventually subscription based in a 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 or 6 years, you pretty much could have bought all that stuff yourself. But then you don't have to worry about the upkeep of it. And that's probably where you save money at. But it just
Yep.
takes one thing to go on, all right, and we take that away because we don't like you or because of whatever reason we feel like it, and gone. And then he's like,
Right.
then you're left with nothing. And I don't really like that idea. Of course, you know, man, it's been ever since I've been taking a little break here. I keep on seeing stuff online about all these doomsday stuff happening, all this bad stuff gonna be happening. Apparently, something bad's gonna happen on the 23rd of this month or something like that. I'm like, oh my god, it's Y2K all over again. So even if we all had computers and we all were all remote, and then somebody decides to do something really crazy and bad, and the internet goes bad, well, everybody's got a computer now. But that's not here or there. Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, she has quickly here just was trying to say she didn't know if her version of the laptop was different than what you had. So I don't know if there is a difference. Do you remember which laptop it was of the Dells that you had?
I had the one just like hers that could be flipped over like a tablet. Her screen, if you flip it, it flips all the way over, right? Yeah. I had one just like that I had Windows 11 on. Remember, I brought it to your house when I visited and played Genshin on it.
Yeah. Yeah, she needs this one turned to a Windows 11. So if you could forward whatever sorcery you did to get it to work, to Windows 11.
Yeah, give me until tomorrow afternoon, and I'll try to send you the info on it.
Until then, and well, she's already looking at things and writing down notes, and she's already studying up. She wants to get it so she can get better. They're always trying to push yourself forward, really. Okay, so let's jump into the next one, because I'll leave the whole what happened to me this past week to the end. LP, if you're still here, maybe you can help me out with one of them, because maybe you know of it. I know it wasn't from you that told me about this anime, but we'll talk about it in a second. Okay, so we're going to talk about animes, and I hate putting this word out there, even though I just said it. Animes that we hate. I say despise, dislike.
Let's do it this way. Animes that you dislike, whether it's because you dislike the ending, you dislike the way they wrote a character, or you just ended up disliking the anime. Let's do it that way.
Yeah. And okay, so my quick question though is, remember that anime I talked about a couple weeks back? I was saying like the animation would look terrible. I mean, look like the cheapest of cheap of animation for modern day, and it was based off a manga that was apparently really popular.
I remember you talking about it, but it's been a couple weeks, so I can't remember the name of it.
I'm trying to get up here shortly. So yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. But like, is that like, can you count that you don't like an anime because of how much they changed in the aspect of looks and feel of the show, even though the story is exactly the same, which I read the manga. Story's actually really good.
My point is, okay, let me just narrow it down to this. It's, the question is,
here it is
it rewatchable?
No, I would rather read the book every single time.
Okay, so then I would say you dislike that anime because even though the story was good, you would not rewatch it because it was better in the manga.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I still count as anime, even though people's nitpick of like it has to be Japanese, whatever. Even though it has to be just anything animated. Okay, so let's start with yours because it gives me time to not only try to find out one anime, but also
the first one I'm gonna bring up. Understand, I loved everything about this anime except for the end of the anime.
Okay.
And the main reason I disliked the end of it is because it was one of those where they were telling you a story and then they ended that anime and they didn't continue it. And where they left off left you having no fucking clue where that story was going. Okay? You were getting information, but you never got to the point where you had an idea of what was actually friggin' going on. Okay?
Yeah.
So that would be Dead Man Wonderland. I love the show. I love the anime. I loved everything about it, but they were telling you a story, they stopped, and that was it. And where they left off didn't even leave you enough information to actually, in your own mind, come up with a plausible, end.
Okay, so take it from me and my wife that have actually read the manga. I'm gonna tell you right now, they screwed this show up so badly because, and I'm gonna tell you, the ending of the manga and the ending of the anime series are completely different. They changed the entire ending and some of the premises of the show. Now, anybody who's not read this show or watched this,
which would explain why I was frustrated. Yes.
Yeah. So, the premise of this is there's a bunch of people with some powers. They're kind of like in prison. Main MC meets a girl that's all pale and white, and she's sweet, but she's also a killer. And I mean a real good killer. And they have them fight each other a lot. And it's pretty much a survival game in a sense of like who can survive after all these battles. And we pretty much like it's like, I can't say the Hunger Games. Well, it's kind of like the Hunger Games in a way. And yeah, a lot of them do die, but like the ending, I don't want to spoil it because I don't think you should really like it up to a certain point. I would say episode maybe 7, you stop and you go straight to the manga. Because then you might understand what is supposed to actually be happening after certain people die and how people... I don't want to spoil it.
Like, they never truly explained old dude,
No.
the main... They never did in the anime. So, you're left at the end of the anime going, well, I still don't understand what the fuck was his deal. What was he? I mean, like, why?
Yes.
And I'm assuming that's because, like you said, the changes they made in it. But yeah. I will say I enjoyed the animation. I enjoyed the show best I could with not knowing anything that you just said.
Mm-hmm.
What got me was I was just left with questions that I never had got answers to because I guess they changed so much in it that they didn't reveal those answers. They didn't reveal those answers, which upset me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find. Oh,
that was on my list for that very reason. It's kind of like I liked the beginning of Full Metal Alchemist, the first one. Up to a certain point, I still enjoyed it, and I wouldn't say all the way to the end. And the very end was like, what the? That makes no sense.
So the next one, people might get pissed off about it. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
With Charlotte. Yeah. Charlotte. Now the reason I have that problem with Charlotte is because the first season was phenomenal, okay? But when they broke off and had him go running around killing basically everybody right?
Yeah.
It kind of went weird. It didn't feel like it was about the same thing anymore, if you understand what I'm saying.
Was it a like killing for killing's sake, or did it feel like it was almost pointless killing?
No, it was like I understood why he was killing, but the way they went about telling the story while he was doing it made it feel like this is what we initially started for, and now we're just fucking plastering fucking bodies,
bullshit,
everywhere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, knowing the character as he was in the first part of it, right?
Yeah. Before
that, I don't feel like he would have went as far down the rabbit hole as they made him go. Okay? I don't see it. He would have tried too hard to not go down that rabbit hole. Okay? like I said, I enjoyed the shit out of the first half, I guess you would say, of it. The second half, I was just like, what the fuck is this? This don't even feel the same. I mean, the animation style was the same, the characters were the same, but it didn't feel the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some animes like that. I think it was like one of them is Clan or Clad. I can't remember the name of it. There's a couple of them where, like even the front of the anime is like all girly and cutesy, but then like you actually watch the show and all the girls are serial killers. Well,
I'll give you an example. So, like in Charlotte, they find this kid finds out he's got these special abilities, and a group of kids that have been going to a very specialized school that someone created for these kids, right?
Yeah.
Find him and get him to the school because it's the safe place. And they go through a process of him learning what he can do, what he can't do, learning what the secret missions from the school is for, to find other students and bring them back there so they'll be safe, and if someone does go cuckoo with their powers, to stop them so that, bad things don't happen. And then at the end of that arc, you find out that ultimately the only way to save everybody is to essentially remove what gives them all the abilities, right?
Yeah.
Do that though, there is a specific group of them that got their abilities, I guess, a specific way. They have to die. Because if they don't, they will continue to spread the shit. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he's the only one that can do that. Now, all of that is fine. That's normal anime stuff, right?
Yeah.
When you start the second arc and he goes off to try to do this, it goes from like episode 1 of him being morally kind of competitive with himself, which you would expect about what he's having to by the end of it, he just don't give a flying fuck. he don't give a shit. Like, he wiped out an entire village at one point. And I'm just like, that's not who this character is. Now, I get that he was supposed to have some reactions because as he killed them, he was pulling it all in, right?
Yeah.
He was becoming the vessel for it all. And I get that has a certain amount of toll and shit, but like, they made him go deep down the rabbit hole, deeper than I thought his character would have allowed himself to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he would have stopped before he got to that point. Because that's the kind of character I felt like he was. But they didn't do that. I mean, they just let him go full-on fucking homicidal.
So, like, they pretty much like, oh, this character is going to break, and when he breaks, he snaps all the way. It's like, that character doesn't have that moral boundary. It doesn't have that moral conscience to stop himself. No, he's just going full sin.
It would be like me saying, okay, I've got to go do this, Grumpy, because it's the only way to save everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know me well enough to know that I will do what I need to do until I get to a point where I feel like I'm going to lose myself in doing it. And then I'm going to be like, how can I continue to do this right if I can't even be me? There should have been like some kind of conflict there. Nah, yeah. Fuck that. He just fucking snapped and went, okay, kill them all! And you're like, what the fuck?
See, like, when I know some people like certain genres of entertainment in the industry, and it's like, okay, I like serial killing. And I like the whole spooky, scary thing. And they go from cute and friendly, cuddly, and rainbows, and they go full sin because they're going, oh, I don't like that. I want to make sure my story is what I enjoy, which is the creepy stuff. And it doesn't match the initial atmosphere. It doesn't make no sense. You just did it because you enjoy it. You can really pull someone out of the story going, you just did that because you didn't like that. And that's not against, no, it's not against that. It's just, there was no need for that.
Like, let's do it like this. It's like watching Alien. When you first watch Alien, the atmosphere tells you something's going to kill a lot of fucking people. That's what it does, right? But imagine you're watching that, and then suddenly, halfway through, the alien gets an epiphany. I should only kill certain people. Certain people I should just avoid. Now, that's going to change your entire atmosphere, and you're going to be like, what the fuck happened to my monster? Because, like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to have my monster in the back going, okay, kill the blonde. We leave the guy with the glasses. I don't like the way that guy's shirt's buttoned. What the fuck is that shit?
Well, that's people say about the Freddy Kruegers and Friday at the Next movies, because they always like, oh yeah, the black guy always killed first, the blonde that's a little promiscuous, and the jockey guy, but who survives the last, or who survives the virgin? The really dorky virgin survives every time. It's like kind of a cliche, yeah, but like.
It's a cliche, but when you're watching it, you're expecting that. Yeah. So if you start watching it and then halfway through the movie, somebody just knifes the fucking virgin, you're like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
Why? He was the good one because I can. Like, it's breaking the expectations of what the original story was going and breaking the atmosphere. And it's like me going, one day just going full racist, just full on, like just. I am racist against anybody and everybody. It's like, why? It makes no sense. That's not who I was. What broke me to that extent where I went full blown? Not at all, zero. But I'm just saying, like going from 0 to 100.
Even if it did happen, at some point there would have been some conflict in you before it actually happened.
Yeah,
that's my point. There was no fucking conflict. Like he slowly just accepted I'm murdering everybody. Without conflict, and you're just like, huh?
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I talked about this show before, and to this day, I wish I never saw this one. Now, this was back in the 90s where Cartoon Network was still a thing, and Toonami was a thing. And when I first saw this show, I was baffled on why they would even air such a idiotic, stupid anime. And I don't, some people actually find the show hilarious. And I get it. No, I don't. I don't get it at all. I don't really get Japanese humor all the time. There's sometimes I laugh, and it's actually like meant to be a comical moment. But Japanese anime, when it comes to comedy, barely ever hits for me. Like I don't find it humorous. And that is Bo 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 Bo. And yes, that is his actual name, Bo 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 Bo. And this show came out on Toonami, and it's about a blonde hair, afro, blue shirt, black jeans, like disco guy.
I'm looking at it
with the powers to control his nose hairs and his many wacky friends that come along in this crazy world of adventure. Now, this is purely a comedy. This is satire and jokes every bit of the way. And I never could get any of the jokes at all. None of the characters were ever humorous. And they decided to air this on one of the most watched television shows, I dare say, for those who were kids in the 90s, around Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho and all those other really popular TV shows, and they throw this in the mix. The animation was bland, boring, uninspiring. The superpower. Why would anybody think nose hair control powers was funny in any facet? I dare say is laughable on itself. And of course, the show just aired and multiple seasons. People actually thought this was funny, and I could not find a reason to laugh at this show, and I stuck it through. Like every time it came on, I try to watch it, but by the end of it, I would deliberately turn off my TV, go outside just so I could avoid watching that show. Then come back inside once the show is over. Like, what's your reason for going outside? The show is playing and I don't want to watch it. I'm going outside. You don't have that very much nowadays. It's like, oh, you don't want to watch that? Go to YouTube. Go somewhere else to find something else you want to watch. That's not a problem no more. But back then, what else was to do? I gotta wait 30 minutes for the show I actually want to watch comes on television so I can actually watch it.
Yep.
So that sucks. I'm like, they could have put anything else in this time slot. They put this. Great. Yeah, it is atrocious, and it's assault on my eyes every time I see it. Okay, so the next one is the I'm gonna mention redo of a healer. I don't know if y'all I talked about this before. This anime story is so bad, but it got a meme out of it. Okay, so let me give you a premise of it. Main MC is beaten, bruised, battered to hell and back by everybody, and especially this princess. But he gets a power to be able to heal anything. To the point where he's able to heal someone's mind, and to the point they can erase it. Don't ask me how that's possible. It's how bad the story is. And he decides to get his revenge on the little princess that's literally been torturing him and the R word, for enjoyment for the past couple years. So he decides to erase her mind, makes her into a puppet, and one of the scenes that it's become a meme, he takes his Johnson and just pimp slaps her with it. And like that's when the stuff goes crazy. This show, like, it's so bad, it's funny. And I don't know if that's like a hatred, but it's like comically bad. And I find it just like, it's like, I don't want you to watch it, but if you just want to watch you something like a cleanser, just like a numb, like just turn your brain off, you just watch it just to see how bad it is. But at the same time, it's so bad, it's like almost good. And it's a really weird balance to have. Another scene, apparently they make this perfume at some point. Don't know how, don't know why. And it's really strong aphrodisiac. And there's these centaur people, bull people, guarding a place. Well, there's some really fertile bulls nearby, monster bulls, and it's mating season. So they take this perfume, throw it at the centaurs, splashes on them, and the centaur or the monster bulls goes and R's them. Just fulls on, like, just halves at it. And I laughed so hard at that scene. I'm like, this is terrible. This is wrong. And this is so stupid. But just like just hearing the sounds of them just getting manhandled by giant bull monsters, and it's like, God, this show is so bad. But yeah, that's again honorable mention. Like, it's a mix between it. But the one I want to talk about is the beginning after the end. This is the one based on the actual manhwa, which is a Korean manga comic book, for those who are still losing track of what those are. And this was a very popular manga, very beloved. It was almost up to the point to, not maybe quality wise, even in the manga, but like very close to Solo Leveling in storytelling. And it's about a boy that used to be an emperor of the same world. So it's not an isekai. He died. He was reincarnated in his same world, hundreds, if not thousands of years in the future. And he remembers his previous life of being an emperor and being all the bad things he had to do to become an emperor and all these terrible things and so far. He's like, okay, this time, better person. And, you know, he has a mom, a dad. They drew, okay, this is where it gets weird. Okay, the dad in the manga is this, like, kind of buff dude, right? Tough, buff, well-chiseled, well-refined. In the anime, they made him this skinny, scrawny guy. And it was like, why'd you do that? What, like, that was just one change. And then the animation it reminded me of like the 1990, not like 1995, not 1998 or 2000, like the 1990s animation, where there was just wind effects and a still image going across the screen. Bad animation. And I'm going, what's the word? Do you not have hopes for this anime to be successful? That you didn't want to put a good budget in it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever watch something like this? Like,
yeah,
you didn't have no hopes for this at all to making it, did you?
I get what you're saying. I mean, my question a lot of times with things like that is, one, was it because you didn't want to put the money in it because you didn't expect it to make it? Or two, if you were limited legitimately on the amount of money you could put into it, why not wait until you could get the money?
Yeah. I want to say that it almost felt like sabotage. If I was the creator of this show, of this manga, this book, and I was brought forward something like, hey, we would love to take your IP and turn it into a TV show. And you presented that to me and showed me a reel of that, like even a commercial of that. And then you saying, good, right? I'm like, no, not good. Redo. I do not endorse this at all. I don't want you to take what people already are loving and enjoying, and then you take it and go on easy cash grab and put the littlest effort into it. It's almost a way of like just like destroying what I'm building, which is already like, hey, I don't know, maybe the person didn't have high esteem of their own work, but all I hear is praise about the manga. That's why I gave it a shot. I'm like, okay, I watched the TV show, I'm gonna watch the anime, or I'm gonna read the manga and see if the people are actually hyping this up for no reason. And like, no, they actually were legitimate. It's actually good. So I actually enjoyed it. So why would you take that and destroy it? I would say destroy. It's a hard way to say destroy, but take something like that and then do it so poorly. Yeah, we see it all the time.
I can see it. It's frustrating. It's like I don't know. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of shows like that right now, where you're hoping that they're going to do it justice, and then sometimes they come up short. Sometimes they do a good job. It just depends on who has their hands on it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of feel that way with. Granted, it's not an anime, but with She-Hulk, when She-Hulk come out, I enjoyed She-Hulk. They put a good budget behind She-Hulk so that they could do all the, the hulking out and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But they got nothing but shit about the show, so they stopped it. And I don't understand. I can't understand why that show didn't make it. But maybe it's because I liked it, and I'm not one of those people that didn't like it, so I don't understand. The standpoint.
Yeah, you didn't have the understanding of why you would not like it. It's not. I wouldn't say it's not because you're not a super fan of the show or of the comic books. I don't think you should have to be a super fan of something in order to dislike or to like something. You can have your own opinion regardless of that.
Right.
But at the same time, I think just that times. Or that time where a lot of TV shows were coming out, they were deliberately trying to push certain people's buttons and to garner up hatred from it without full context. But they were just like, hey, this is the era of trying to get people mad, and so they will go check it out or go watch it, almost like a hate watching, rather than go and watch it for something they enjoy and actually give it a fair shake. I was like, that's not fair. Like you're deliberately doing stuff to make people mad. I don't understand it, but that's what people do nowadays. It's all it is. It's all it is about making people mad so I can garner attention. And
I agree.
That's all the reason why this channel will probably never make it, because we'll never say anything to really try to tick people off. Unless
I tell people all the time. You hear me tell chat, like, I don't. If you disagree with me, so be it. I'm not trying to make you mad. This is just my personal opinion. Like, there's some people right now that are loving the second season of Wednesday, and there's some people that are hating it. I personally enjoyed it. Um, I just I think it's depends on the person and what they were expecting out of it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
and I think a lot of people they expect more things out of everything when it's almost getting to mediocrity. I can't say that right. It's everything's just so bland. If it's not
yeah,
one extreme, it's another extreme.
that's why that's why I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm not really reading people's comments on shows anymore that I'm watching. Like, I'm watching Alien Earth. A lot of people, I don't know for this for sure because I hadn't really looked, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that are pissed off and don't like it. Personally, I'm enjoying the new twist that they put on it. You know, it's not just a xenomorph alien. There's other aliens involved. You
Yeah, there's
know,
other
which
aliens in the universe.
makes it more interesting and yeah, to me, and I'm enjoying it. But I'm sure there's some diehard Alien fans out there that are going, "No, it should only be about xenomorphs. Why would you put other aliens in it?" Well, I mean, fuck. I guess there's only one type of alien out there, Grumpy, and it's going to be an acid bleeding fucking xenomorph. So, I mean,
Yeah, there's only one kind of creature that honestly try to kill you when there's literally a lot of creatures on our own planet that would try to kill you if you were within their reach or within their sight. Some very deadly birds out there. Some very deadly birds out there. Come on. Why can there not be other deadly aliens that are in our universe? Then again, if there are actually aliens like us in a sense of sentient being, you don't think there's not going to be aliens out there that are sentient beings that are very aggressive?
yeah, hell, I mean, we're aggressive now. We were really aggressive early on in our evolution. I mean, it's shit. Homo sapiens killed fucking Neanderthals. You know, we're like, ooh, he's ugly, kidding. You know, we're violent motherfuckers. And that's how we are. I mean, I'm not saying we haven't made progress as we've adapted, evolved, and grown, but I mean, if we had to go through that, you don't think if there are aliens, other species didn't go through that shit? I mean, they just magically woke up enlightened. That's not how that shit works.
Yeah. So yeah, I think people need to stop being letting themselves be rage bait, or at least rage baited so much. Give everything a fair shot, and then shit on it. You know, watch it open-minded, then shit on it if you don't like it.
I'm gonna take a page from the Stealthy book and say, I think people should stop watching a movie based off of past information or something that you read or watched or something tied to that, expecting it to be the exact same, and start watching the shows, I guess, like a blank slate to see if you enjoy it just for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you don't like it, that's a different story. I'm gonna kind of take that standpoint when the Harry Potter TV series comes out. Okay, I'm going into it. I don't want to compare it to the movies. I don't want to compare it to the books. I want to see what they put on the screen, and if I like what they put on the screen. Okay, if I don't like it at that point, then I would say I gave it a fair shake. If I do like it, then I do like it. That's just how it goes. But it's not based on, oh, well, this actor was 3 centimeters shorter than the actor that played that in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, they described this exactly like this, and oh, they missed a corner round. I'm not trying to do that. I just want to see if what they put on the screen is appealing to me.
Or
and
enjoyable.
if it is, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know, I will say I am not 100% professional at that yet. I still have moments where I don't take my own advice. but I am trying to get better. Like, there were shows that I looked at a couple of years ago that would pop up on Netflix, and as soon as I see them, I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm watching that. No way. Just by the description, you know? You fast forward to now, I've actually watched a couple of those shows, and guess what? I fucking love them. It's just because I was trying to base it against something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't say I've had that same experience. Like I said, like that one anime, anybody remembers it, or anybody can take the nuances of what I'm about to say and maybe figure out what anime it is. It's a MC dies, goes to another world, and in this world he has a string of bad luck. He never gets killed, right? But he has a string of bad luck, and a lot of things bad happens to him. And one scene, he gets captured by this crazy girl and strapped to his table and tortured, and she's in like getting off on it. He eventually talks her out of it and out of killing him and releasing him. But the whole premise of the show is just make the MC guy have a terrible life. That's the whole premise of it. No, he has like no good luck. Everything bad has happened to him, and then some. And it's not ReZero. That's why I'm like, dang, I can't. Like every time I look it up, it's like, oh, ReZero. Like, no, I don't think he died. I don't remember him dying at all. I just remember him just getting tortured, beat up, battered, abused, and like bad luck left and right and center, and then getting tortured on a metal table by this crazy chick with ponytails that gets off on it. But like I can't remember the name of the anime. So okay, but yeah, I never into a TV show where I went, man, I don't think I like that, and I went back and watched it and went, oh, I changed my mind. I personally don't have any recollection of that.
I'll give you an example. So there's a show that's been out for 4 years now, and the 5th season drops next week. Okay.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, I seen it when it popped up on Netflix, and no, it wasn't Netflix. It was Hulu or something like that. Anyway, I remember reading it, and I like murder mysteries, I like horror, I like thrillers, I like stuff like that. And I remember reading it and thinking, I don't want to watch a murder mystery with a bunch of comedians in it. You know?
Okay.
That doesn't sound
appealing.
Good to me. Fast forward to this past year, just like a few months or so ago, I decide for shits and giggles, I'm going to watch an episode just to see what it's about.
Okay.
And it's actually really fucking good to me. It's like, it's not stupid comedy all the time. Like, there's a lot of serious fucking deep shit happening. And then, of course, there's some funny moments because you got comedians in it, you know?
Okay, yeah.
But I find that I like that show a lot. And, like, I can't wait for the next season to come next week. Because I've watched all of the first 4 seasons already. That's how much I liked it.
Well, I wish I had that. It's getting close, but let's just okay, real quick. You talked about this before, and let's see if you can pop out a few of them before we end it. But since like that one's continuing on, is there?
Hang on, you froze. Say that again. You froze up on me.
Okay. Since we're almost close to time, we can kind of end, and I'll give a quick rough why I was missing. But what animes would you like to continue on and have another season of that you has not had a season in a long time?
I would like to have another season of Another.
Okay.
I enjoyed that a lot. I would like to have another season of what the hell is the name of that anime? Shit. Hang on, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I know my wife would love to have another season of an anime called Angels of Death. Problem with that is like all the people that were the killers in the anime pretty much all got killed themselves. So it's like,
right,
you can't really have it. You can have a prequel.
I'd like another season of King's Game.
King's Game. That one is actually a pretty interesting one. Yeah. Okay. Well, for me, it would be an easy one, but the problem is, like, I don't know if modern day they could do either a remake of it would you kind of remake as another season, or would you kind of remake as its own thing?
If they're basing it off the original season, I wouldn't say it's a new season. I would call it a remake. If they're revamping it but adding new material to it, then I would say it's another season.
Okay, because like the original maker of Outlaw Star did write a story for what happened to the Outlaw Star crew after the Galactic Ley Line, and it was already in rights and somewhat in works for a season 2 of Outlaw Star. I want the person, if he's still around, to finish it and release it, because that's my favorite, right? Of course, it would be my go-to of the anime world to want to see that again. And that's like this. It's just pretty much just like that. There's not many other ones. There's a couple other ones I wouldn't mind another season, but the problem is that even though the seasons of anime is not going, the manga is, and I know how the industry is, and I may never get them, but I'm hoping they actually are coming through with Hunter x Hunter, because they were promising Hunter x Hunter was supposed to come out this year. Where's that? Where's Hunter x Hunter? I want my next season of Hunter x Hunter, and they're just like nothing. So I want that, but like it's to keep on teasing us. Like, it's coming. Nothing. And I'm just, of course, Farming in Another World, I would say that one, but like a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago, they already announced a new season for that. I'm like, oh, thank God, thank you. I had to ask and beg for that because I really like it. Farming Life in Another World, I believe that's the full title of it. It's such a charming, relaxing, just stupid, simple anime premise too, that I watched it literally 4 times, sub and dub, and I'm going, I hope they come another season, and thank goodness they did. Even though the manga quality and artwork has dwindled a lot, and I don't know what that says, like either the person's getting lazy or their art direction is changing. I hope not, because I like the original art style. It wasn't like high quality, but it was the standard, right? And I'm okay with standard. I'm just not okay with below standard in 2025. And I'm still looking at that that anime I'm talking about, the manga one. All right, so quickly up there, I know some people are curious. We're already past time, but I'll just give this rundown real quick. While I was gone, I'm doing better. As you can tell, I'm laughing a little bit. I'm making jokes a little bit, but I am nowhere near where I would like to be, and has broken me in a lot of ways, where mornings sometimes could be just me crying in bed. And today I didn't cry in bed, so my pug Geo, my very first own personal pet that I've grown over the years to call him my son, Geo, of 16 years, has passed away about 3 weeks ago. He had a large tumor on his neck, very large. It went from small, huge, to the point where he could barely keep his head up. When he did walk, he was aimless. He didn't know where he was going. Still very much food driven, right? Slept a lot, but you could definitely tell in his eyes that he was gone. He was not my son anymore. One of his eyes had become clouded and started bulging, and we don't know if that was because maybe a brain tumor, maybe something in his brain was popping his eye out. We don't know. But and then he had a And he had a stroke one day, and at that point, like, we knew he was far too gone. He was suffering too much. Anything in, couldn't hold his bladder, couldn't hold his stool. He couldn't hold anything. He could eat. He could barely keep himself up. He could walk like on stools, but yeah. Once we realized his eyes, his continentiveness was pretty much gone. That thing was not going away. We couldn't do it no more. So we had him put down, and we had him cremated. We don't know what to do with his cremations yet, but apparently you can take his cremations and put some of it in ink and have a tattoo of whatever you want done with his cremation. One of the options.
Yes.
Another option is to put it in some concrete, his cremations, and make some rocks out of it, which I'm okay with. The idea of, like, Corvaro brought this up, the idea of the diamond made from him would seem pretty cool, even though it would take a year or so to make it, which makes sense because it takes a very long time to make a diamond in any pressurized chambers. You only want to make one, and there's two of us, so
take your time.
we're still trying to figure out what to do with him. So right now he's in the bedroom in a wooden it's a urine box, whatever, very small bag of ashes. I mean, like, not even enough to fill one, like, a fist. It's crazy. See now how big he was, even though he was very much diminishing, how little remains of him is surprising. Honestly, it's not really something not the way I want him to come home, right?
Right.
But he's home here, and we're still working through it.
Said.
So I appreciate those who have still been following my channel. I've lost a good bit of subscribers since then. I get it, right? I've been gone. I've been missing. My last video didn't do that great. I put a lot of time and effort into it. I'll get back to it eventually. Sorry, I've been off the podcast and no D&D streams. I'm sorry to everybody that had wait. But
You don't have to apologize for that.
yeah, as soon as I'm fully healed, and I hope those who like this podcast go and subscribe, let me know what you like to see me do. But as soon as I am fully able to get my mind in the right place and be able to make content again, which I can truly enjoy and laugh and make jokes and be actually a part of it with no distractions, I'll get back to it. But right now it's just this is about as all as I can do. This was, yeah, like I said, I knew that I would get emotional, but I've come a long way. I was definitely a lot. You couldn't console me 4 days ago. Like there was no consoling. So yeah, thanks for those who have been patient, those who are waiting. We're hoping to have D&D tonight. We're gonna see who shows up, who doesn't show up, and if I am not my usual self, you know why. So yeah, I'll see y'all later. As always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.